This is 7 National News. Here are the headlines. Construction for 110 villas for UAE citizens approved. Ministry of Economy and BSA launch anti-piracy initiative. And residents in Japan uneasy as nuclear severity level raised. And in our top story, the commission in charge of following up the directives of President His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan for infrastructure development has approved the construction of 110 more villas for UAE citizens in different parts of the country. By this approval, the number of residential villas the Commission endorsed during a period of 3 months has reached 667. The Commission has also agreed on the completion work of Sheikh Khalifa Specialist Hospital in Ras Al Khaimah at a cost of 64 million dirhams to be completed by the end of the year. Additionally, the committee endorsed the list of supply of medical equipment required by the Ministry of Health for a number of hospitals, medical centres and facilities relevant to the hospital work with a cost of 54 million dirhams. The UAE Ministry of Economy and Business Software Alliance have launched an anti-piracy initiative with the aim to spread awareness about intellectual property rights, laws and the legal consequences of using and selling pirated and illegal software. The month-long advertising campaign also highlights the negative impact of piracy to all members of society, particularly in terms of lost jobs. The campaign effectively leverages the reach of print and broadcast media. Abdullah Al Hussein, Director of the Censorship Department at the UAE Ministry of Economy, stressed that the campaign will include all media outlets in the UAE in a bid to reach out to all individuals and organisations. Now, as the UAE continues to promote public transport across the country, Dubai and Abu Dhabi are both playing a major role in advancing transport systems. The international public transport industry recognised these efforts at the ongoing International Association of Public Transport, or also known as the UITP exhibition, and say it is commendable to see the combined hard work between the public and private sectors, which can be used as a model for the entire region. Thus, the local manufacturing industry is deemed to play a significant role. Our correspondent Khadija Salih has this report.
Global industry leaders praised Dubai's progress in public transport, which is now comprised of varied transportation modes, including Abras, water taxis, buses, and the metro. Event officials say this kind of development is in keeping with the running theme for sustainable and seamless public transport systems worldwide. In the same vein, the Department of Transport in Abu Dhabi reiterated their plans of developing the capital's transport system and how the UITP plays an important role in achieving their goals.
We think being here, will give us a chance to meet a different transport maker and to validate our transport plan through the expertise and exchange knowledge and exchange technology with others, and see whatever world can offer for us to make Abu Dhabi accessible and achieve Abu Dhabi mobility plan.
Playing a significant role in this development is a local transport manufacturer based in Musafa, Abu Dhabi.
We manufacture our buses in Musafa, in Abu Dhabi. We have relationships and we have built buses for the Department of Transport, the Ministry of Interior and the Police Department. We're on the move up. We're busy negotiating new designs, new concepts and a broader base in our industry. But the focus is on manufacture, local assembly and serving the local industry.
Company officials also added that while business expansion is on top of their agenda, it is also essential to think long-term and adapt to the growing economy by providing a mode of transport that caters to the general public as well as those with special needs and supports the protection of the environment.
Our structures and our buses are manufactured from aluminium extrusions, which is all bolted together as opposed to welding, which minimizes the corrosion. It's weight cost effective in respect of weight, which results in less fuel usage. And life cycle of the bus. The buses last a lot longer, they give better service and reliability, which is the key in the area in a growing economy.
In addition to these and the buses as well as alternate modes of transport on display from 37 countries at the UITP exhibition, the benefits of clean natural gas as well as other innovations encouraging environment protection through recycling, reduction of carbon emissions and carbon footprint were widely represented and highlighted at the event. Khadija Sali, 7 National News.
The Department of the Municipal Affairs and the municipalities of the Emirate of Abu Dhabi, Al Ain and the Western region will showcase 38 sustainable development projects during their participation at this year's Cityscape event at the Abu Dhabi National Exhibition Centre from the 17th to the 20th of April. The new building codes in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and the Municipal Spatial Solutions Infrastructure Project are among the projects to be showcased by the DMA on the stand. Al Ain Municipality will be showcasing 6 projects with the addition of the development plans for the widening and upgrading of the Al Ain Dubai Road. This will aim to increase the number of lanes and provide better safety on the road. The road will also contribute to easing traffic on both ways by applying the most advanced standards. Telecom operator Etisalat has signed an agreement with specialist e-waste company Enviroserve to roll out new initiatives that will allow customers to safely dispose of old mobile phones and other electronic items across its 18 markets. The initiative will help prevent toxic materials from polluting water supplies and landfills and protect the inheritance of billions of people in the region. The agreement was signed by Etisalat's Group Chief Operating Officer, Ahmed Abdul Harim Jolfar, and the CEO of Enviroserve, Stuart Fleming, in the presence of Ahmed bin Ali, Etisalat Group Senior Vice President of Corporate Communications, and Enviroserve's General Manager, Haleb Al-Azem. Etisalat has been working with Enviroserve on its Envirophone campaign since 2007 in the UAE and has since collected 450 tonnes of electronic waste, which has all been safely disposed of in specialist factories. The Abu Dhabi Criminal Court of First Instance has charged a man who attempted to enter the country after ingesting 122 capsules filled with heroin. According to local reports, the defendant, a Pakistani man, told the court that he did not intend to sell the heroin and was only delivering the drugs in exchange of an employment visa that was given to him by the sender. The defendant explained that the capsules had been covered with tape to prevent them from spilling into his alimentary canal. However, he was not aware of how many the ingested capsules had already been expelled from his body when he attempted to enter the country. Now, death is a sensitive subject, as are wills and life insurance. Most people put these sorts of matters on the back burner and therefore don't plan properly in case of accidents. But today, experts at a seminar in Dubai highlighted the importance of having a clear and last will and testament made, whether you are an expatriate or national, especially if you own assets or investments in the UAE, in order to protect your loved ones. June Wrigley has this report.
What happens if you die without a will in the UAE? Does Sharia law apply even if you're non-Muslim? Who gets your assets? Who settles your debts? Will your family be looked after? These are all questions which too many people often find answers to after it's too late.
The Sharia law or any laws, in the absence of a will, the law of the land operates. And in the event of a death of a person, the assets get shared as per the law of the land. Now here is a Sharia law which is operative, and Sharia law will apply.
Sharia law applies to the distribution of a deceased estate. It is meant to protect everyone with wealth distributed among family members. However, for Muslims and non-Muslims alike, many people have their own specific wishes for the distribution of their assets and want to have a say in matters such as guardianship of children, which is what a will provides clarity on. It is dying without a will which exposes families to not only UAE law, Sharia law, and your home country law, but also can cause strains between blood relatives at an already difficult time.
When a person dies, obviously nobody knows the wishes of the deceased. Maybe a particular funeral arrangement, maybe he wanted to make a gift to charity, maybe he wanted certain wishes to be, for people to follow them. So when he dies, nobody knows anything. The will is the only document that is talking on behalf of the deceased. That's why it's very important to have one and for them to obviously keep it ready and make sure somebody close to them knows about it. Because it will be this person acting as, say, the executor to take it to the court and to execute it accordingly then.
And for those who have a will, to ensure it is valid in the UAE requires that the will is attested by proper authorities and translated into Arabic. As wills address the issue of assets, we ask, what role does life insurance play?
Let's assume that it's all done, will is done, everything is done. Now, the liabilities in the will, the banks would have a stake on. The banks will not allow those assets to be encashed unless their liabilities are met. Now, the insurance will pay out to those liabilities to the banks or whoever they owed money. It frees up the will. Otherwise, the will by itself will not help unless they protect the liabilities first. So it's important for people to make a will taking into consideration the assets and the liabilities and have those liabilities insured under a life insurance so that the assets which they are intended to pass on are freed.
But many people still have a lot of misconceptions about Sharia law. Some people may even perceive life insurance as haram. However, as banks and financial institutions become more Sharia compliant, there are Islamic banking solutions.
The question I ask everyone, what is more haram, to die with a debt or to take out life insurance to cover the debt? Now, it's very easy to say to everyone, don't get into debt. But let's face it, we all get into debt. Even a credit card's a debt. So the question is, if you die, do you want that debt? Now, why in saying take out life insurance is just to make sure the debt is cleared. But now we have Takaful life insurance, which is Islamic group life insurance, so you can take that. The whole point is to clear your debts and liabilities.
Death is something we all hope to avoid for as long as possible. But while we live, there are ways to protect our loved ones. As you can see, a well-drafted will not only provides clarity on one's estate, but it protects one's most important assets, family. June Wrigley, 7 National News.
And looking over to Japan, residents living near the stricken Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant expressed concern today after the severity of the crisis was raised to level 7 from 5, putting it on a par with the Chernobyl nuclear disaster in 1986. The rating reflects the initial severity of the crisis, not the current situation, which has seen radiation levels drop dramatically, Japan's Nuclear Safety Agency's officials said. A level 7 incident entails a major release of radiation with widespread health and environmental effects, while a 5-rated event is a limited release of radioactive material with several deaths from radiation, according to the International Atomic Energy Agency. Meanwhile, TEPCO said on Monday it had stopped the discharge of low-level radioactive water into the sea, which has drawn complaints from neighbouring China and South Korea. Because of accumulated radiation contamination, the government is also encouraging people to leave certain areas beyond its 20-kilometre exclusion zone around the plant. And an inquiry into the floods in the Australian state of Queensland, which claimed at least 35 lives, began in Brisbane today. The Queensland Floods Commission of Inquiry will investigate preparations and response to the deadly floods in January 2011. The state's Water Minister, Stephen Robertson, gave evidence at the opening day of the inquiry, which is expected to last for a year. Robertson said his department was warned of an impending extreme season by the Weather Bureau back in October 2010. At its peak, floods affected an area larger than the total size of Germany and France put together. An interim report is expected in August. And up next, Linda Berenger has the day's business news, so stay with us.